Hey guys, we are in the basement, and today, guys, on this episode of John's Arcade, well guys, we're getting out of here. Once again, yes, this is another John's Arcade on the road, and yeah, Jay is in this one too, his third video in a row. So what are we doing in this video? I'll tell you. We're going to Westfield. Yeah, we're going to the Hangar Pub and Grill in Westfield, Mass. Now, my buddy Jay and I have had games there for the last few years, and obviously because of this COVID stuff, nothing's happening. We can't operate. And I want to bring my NBA FASTBREAK back to the basement. So in this video, we're gonna drive to Westfield, we're gonna meet Jay there, we're gonna grab my NBA FASTBREAK pinball, bring it to the garage, and go through it. I wanna basically fix all of the errors and problems in this video. Then we're gonna bring it down here and we're gonna shop it, put LEDs, not in this video. In this video, we're gonna get the game, bring it to the garage, fix it all up, make sure everything's working 100%. And then in probably the next video, I wanna bring it down and then I'm gonna get some LEDs and we're gonna shop it and make it just 100% perfect. So anyway, and then also in this video, by the way, Tim's gonna come by here. We're gonna see if we can fix Major Havoc and Paperboy. So this will be kind of a hodgepodge of an episode. So anyway, enough of that. Let's just hop in a car and take a ride to Westfield, Mass. All right, guys, we are here at the Hangar Pub and Grill in Westfield, Massachusetts, and Jay's here, and I think this is his new van, which is pretty awesome. So let's go see if we can find Jay. Jay! Hello! Jay, are you in there? Jay!
John! Hey, what's happening?
What's up, man? So this is your new van, huh?
Yeah, this is the game hauler.
This thing is awesome, dude.
Come on in.
It's like 7-foot ceilings, right, huh?
Yeah, you can stand a game upright in here, so it could fit, I don't know, like 10 games.
Right.
So it's great to move.
So this is your free play game hauler?
This is the game hauler, yeah. I used this a lot when Worcester was getting ready to open, just to move stuff in and out, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
I see F14, this is ours.
Yeah, this was in Amherst, when we got Stranger Things, I think we took this out, right? To make
I think so.
And this had some issues that needed to get fixed, so we got those all taken care of. But we're gonna sell this and pick up those super bikes we were talking about.
Right, and hopefully operate those within the next year.
Yeah, yeah, hopefully. We'll see.
And I see you have a Star Trek Next Generation right there.
That one also had to get repaired. That one had a number of issues, you know, those guns, the turrets or whatever, they're flaky, and then there's a lot of optos in there that fail all the time, so.
Very cool.
Thanks.
So let's go see what's going on inside here.
Yeah.
Now we haven't been here in probably 6 months.
Yeah, at least.
And we're gonna grab my NBA FASTBREAK and bring that back.
Yep.
But let's see what's going on in here. So as you can see, none of the games are operating. And I guess we'll just kind of do a quick tour. But this is being used as storage because they had to remove a lot of the tables.
Right, to make room, you know, for the requirements and all that.
Right, because they're operating at a percentage of their max capacity. Yeah.
Right.
So Big Buck, that's not ours. That's our Virtua Cop.
Yeah.
That game's been great, actually.
It is. It only had one issue with the power supply that we had to repair, but after that, it's been running. And that came from our friend Tim.
That's right.
That Tim guy.
From the last video.
Yeah. Yeah.
The House of the Dead, that was the first one we got. That thing's been great.
That used to be in Amherst and did well there, and then we brought it here.
And we replaced the guns only, right? Didn't we?
Yeah, that game, knock on wood's been rock solid. Just the guns, and those guns are the HAP guns, right? So they're not too bad. Yeah,
those are the easy guns to replace. When you get into like the House of the Dead 4 or whatever, it has like those Uzis.
Yeah, with the recoil and all the...
Very proprietary.
Yeah, very expensive guns.
Yeah, so if you want to operate a gun game, definitely find one that you can use the standard cheapo HAP guns. Because the guns are really expensive otherwise.
They take a beating.
Yeah. And then we have a Namco Reunion Miss Pack / Galaga. That has a 25-inch monitor in there. So we decided to remove the originals and put that in there instead. And it's actually a great game.
Yeah, I think it does well, and you know, when you have space constraints like we do, where you can't put too many games on location, if you can find a combo like that, it makes sense, I think. So.
It's nice too with the 25-inch CRT.
Yeah, they did a good job with that one.
So I can't really get over there, or can I? I don't know. Let's see if we can go over here. So here's our air hockey. Air hockey did awesome.
Yeah, we run these at Amherst and Westfield, and
gets played a ton.
Yeah, this is one of those games where people can compete, and they'll just keep popping in quarters, and play all night. So.
And everyone can play it. That's what's so great about it. So some of the other games here are not ours, like the basketball, this golden tee monstrosity. I don't know what that used to be.
Is this like a generic cabinet?
I don't know. It looks...
Did they just...
What was this ever?
I don't know. Like, was this something else first, and then they made it into this golden tee? It's got like this boombox on top.
Right, and this like... Yeah, I don't know.
It's weird. Anyways, it's not ours.
No, it's not ours. But the skee ball is ours. These are like the shorter 6-foot or 7-foot tables.
These are 10-footers.
Oh, they're 10?
With the head, it's 10, yeah.
Okay. But the lane itself is like 7 or 8.
Right.
This is an original versus Super Mario Brothers. So I know in the last video we talked about, the conversion versus the dedicated versus cabinets. And this is the dedicated versus cabinet. It's this kind of gray particle board.
Yeah. And the giveaway, too, is this little grill in the middle here between the marquee.
Yeah,
and,
that's the speakers.
Yeah, the speaker grill, yeah.
Right. And I like these cabinets. They are really fragile.
Yeah.
These things crumble a lot.
You can see in this cabinet,
yeah.
It's starting to crumble like down the bottom right where the team holdings.
Yep. Yeah, I had the same problem with mine.
Yeah.
NBA Jam Tournament Edition does pretty well. Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. That's kind of it for this side, and we can go over there and look at the pins.
Yeah.
And we have some sit-down drivers. But yeah, this is kind of depressing, honestly,
Yeah.
And Amherst is the same way.
All of Massachusetts, really. I mean, both John and Jay's locations, but if you go anywhere in Massachusetts, all the arcades are closed. Even the big guys like Dave & Buster's and everybody else.
But they're opening the casinos.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Go figure,
I know,
right?
It makes no sense. And I think the similar thing's happening in other states where casinos can open but arcades cannot.
Right, it's just all about tax dollars.
Yeah.
All right, South Park, this is actually a great pin. We were going to get this shopped and LED'd before all this happened.
I know.
And
it needs it.
Yeah, it does. This is one of the first pins we got, isn't it?
I think you're right. Was this our first pin? That we put on location together? I think
it was, yeah. And this is my NBA FASTBREAK. It's held up pretty well here. It's been here for what, 2 years, 3 years? How long is it?
I think almost 3, because it wasn't in Amherst before it came to Westfield.
It was for a short while, yeah.
So since 2017, so we're coming on 3 years that this has been on location.
Yeah. And it's held up fairly well. There's been some minor little switch errors and stuff that we've had to address.
It doesn't look bad overall.
It does, and this is going to clean up perfect. And I try to clean this every couple of weeks with some Novus.
Are you going to LED this?
I am. That's the plan. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you were talking about the color DMD. I think that's a great upgrade.
Yeah, I'm going to do it little by little, but we'll drop it in my garage and I'll start working on it. So Terminator 3, this is not ours.
What do you think of this pin?
I don't think much of it.
No, it's Williams still.
No, it's Stern. Yeah,
oh, it's Stern. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because Terminator 2 was Williams.
Right.
And then, but yeah, this one this isn't ours, but I don't think it gets a lot of love.
Yeah. And then we have some Cruise and Exoticas linked. These do very, very well for us. Arctic Thunder does fantastic.
Yeah.
And then a Crane game, which is not ours. So, all right, why don't we get some tools and let's get this NBA out of here.
All right, let's do it, John.
All right.
I don't believe we don't belong. No one can see what we've got. I don't believe we don't belong. No one can see what we've got. When I wake up in the morning and you're not right next to me, I feel incomplete. 'Cause I don't believe we don't belong. No one can see what we've got. 'Cause you don't know what I want.
All right, Jay, we made it.
Hey, John.
It's in the garage. I think I have a lot of work ahead of me.
Yeah.
I mean, we should turn it on and see what it does.
Okay. I think when we looked at it in Westfield, it looked okay, right?
Right.
But obviously
We've got errors.
Bugs we can get through. So let's see what it's got.
Check switch 48 left loop. made.
Okay.
Is that it? Is that the only error?
It'll probably keep going through. Obviously.
Well, pinballs are missing. We know that.
Yeah.
We took them out. Defender mech is broken. Great.
That's common, I think, on these games.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's that guy down there.
Right in the middle there. It goes back and forth.
Well, that's not good.
Yeah. But that, considering, John, it's been on location for 2+ years.
Yeah.
To have 2 errors, I think is actually not bad at all.
And there's been more errors because I've been fixing stuff as it happens. So who knows when this stuff busted. That Defender mech error, though, that maybe it's something stupid, you know, who knows?
Yeah, I've seen it before, the ones that free play, it does it every now and then. So
right.
I wouldn't worry too much about it. It's already got some LEDs in it. I didn't notice the GI has LEDs on it.
Yeah, I was changing those at Westfield as they were burning out because I had some LEDs in my bag.
Okay. I would definitely go with the warm whites only because I see you have cool whites in there now.
Yeah.
I think the warm whites look better, personally.
Yeah, well, those are just what I had, so.
Yeah. And there's a whole bunch of lights in the back box out, but again, it's been on location for a while, so they're all burnt up.
Yeah, it needs a whole shop job.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw pinballs in it real quick.
Okay.
Hang on.
Yeah.
All right, we got problems. Jay, what happened here?
I guess we blew a fuse, John, or something.
Yeah, so we put it all together and we put the balls in and then turned it on, and then it told us that we had a ground short.
And to check a fuse.
And to check a fuse. And then the coin door stopped working.
Right.
So I don't know if we
accidentally
hit something or
when we put it back together, maybe. Yeah, so we'll check for that blown fuse. And
let's check the fuses. Here's F10.
I think it was F101, if I remember correctly. So I see 102 is here. What is this, John? Do you see this?
That's F0101. That's 101.
All right, so maybe that one. That's the 12-volt regulated. So that's the 12-volt.
The multimeter's right here.
Okay.
Here, you want me to hold it?
Yeah, just. Okay, let's see what we got. See, if it's not pinball, if it's not broken.
That's right.
Okay.
So we're using a multimeter on continuity, and that's good.
So that's good. Well, let's just check all the other ones over here, all right? Flashers. All right.
How about those up there?
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's the culprit, F106.
Which I think is set on the display.
Which says those are the lamps, right? So, yeah, F106.
How about keep going?
Yeah, the other ones look good. You can definitely see 106 is gone.
And then there's 4 up here.
These are the sound, I think. This is the soundboard. Yeah, so F106 here is the lamp. So we have a lamp. I mean, did we?
We must have hit something.
Short a lamp out or something like that. Maybe one of the LEDs or.
All right, we're gonna check it out real quick. Be right back. So we're kind of wondering if when we put the lock bar back in, if we shorted this switch here, and this is like the jump button or the shoot button, because everything was working until we plugged this in, and maybe when we plugged it in, this was shorted out somehow. Everything looks kind of clear though. Jay's grabbing a fuse here, and we'll try it out. All right, Jay. So we don't have the fuse.
We need a 5 amp, one of these like little small form factor fuses.
Right. So I'm gonna order a bunch of fuses. We're kind of dead in the water. I hope it was just that switch that caused that short.
Yeah, because it worked okay in Westfield when we turned it on. It was I don't remember being any. Or we didn't turn it on.
No, we didn't turn it on in Westfield today.
But we turned it on here when we first got it here, and it was okay until we plugged in that switch for the lock bar.
So we might have,
I don't know, shorted something out or
something
over there.
One of these tabs could have been touching the metal. I doubt it.
Well, it is the lamp matrix.
This lamp?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, that's
part of the switch matrix?
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either. So Tim's coming over. We're gonna go in the basement and just kind of see what's going on with maybe Paperboy. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll test the. What do you got? You put the bridge rectifier in, but you didn't.
I never tested it.
All right, so we'll test that out. And Major Havoc, you want to look at that too if we get time?
Yeah.
All right.
Just I haven't even pulled it out, so I don't even know what's up with Major Havoc. So.
All right, we'll take a look.
All right, let's go to the basement. All right, we're in the basement.
Hey guys.
All right, so here's what we have. This is the AR3 I rebuilt. And by the way, what was happening, Jay, was that as soon as I plugged everything in, the voltage dropped.
Yeah, to nothing, right?
The 5 volts. Yep. When it was not plugged in, I had 5 volts.
5 volts, right.
And
so once you put a load on it, you basically the voltage, the power supply failed.
Yes.
Okay.
And so I did a bunch of research, and people were talking about this bridge rectifier, which I replaced.
Okay. Yep.
So I replaced that. Never tested it though. So I thought about replacing the big blues, but I believe these are...
That's replaced already,
They're
right?
already replaced.
Yep. Okay.
So I didn't do that.
Plug it in and see what happens.
Yeah, so we got to put the transformer back in.
Okay.
So I'll do that real quick. We just got to plug everything back into it. So let me do that real quick. All right, so Tim's here, by the way.
Hey guys.
Tim, are you cleaning glass?
Hey Tim. I heard you had some dirty glass.
Yeah. All right, so we got the transformer screwed in, and I think this was converted back to a Paperboy from something else, because the transformer is like upside down, which is weird, right?
That's weird.
But everything lines up correctly, like all the the plugs, the Molexes. How you doing, Tim?
Good. How are you?
Good.
All right.
So Tim, we're trying this out for the first time since I changed the bridge rectifier.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
It's gonna work?
We don't know. I mean, no, not at all.
I see you got the new big glue down there.
Yeah, I think I didn't put those in. I think those were there when I got the game. I mean, I got this game like 10 years ago.
Oh, well.
I've had this thing forever.
Yeah, this is definitely like. It just doesn't seem right, John.
What doesn't seem right?
I don't know,
like things aren't lining up.
I don't remember this being like this. I don't know. But,
Oh, really?
I just feel like.
And there's this.
Yeah. So
That goes to this board, the video board.
maybe this is upside down. I think I put this upside down. I think this has to go to this, right? So I think. Yeah, because this is from the service control panel, right?
Yeah.
And then this plugs in. This is like your volume pot and stuff.
Okay.
This plugs into this, so I must have this upside down.
All right, we're gonna turn it around. All right, Jay. So we got it all back together.
I think.
So we're gonna plug it in. That's been bypassed. I think as soon as we plug it in, we have power, right?
Okay. Yeah. So one thing that I noticed, John, on this is you have two power supplies.
Yes.
You guys have gone over this, right? So you have this power supply.
Yep.
Which looks like it's powering.
The sound.
The CPU board up here.
CPU, and then
you have this power supply, the original AR3,
Yes.
which is powering the video board
Right.
down here.
which I believe is a normal thing.
That's correct.
Yeah.
I see this a lot, and I always wonder why Atari did this. I don't know if they just couldn't get enough power out of the switching power supplies, back then at the time. And they did this setup where they had two power supplies, or maybe they knew the AR3 was getting phased out. I'm not really sure, but you'll see some later versions of Paperboy, Championship Sprint, Super Sprint that have one switching power supply, and instead of the AR3 they have that little mini AR board that does the volume,
the amplification.
The amplification, right?
The sound amplifier,
right,
yeah.
Right, I've seen that before too. So.
Right. So it's funny because you have basically two 5-volt powers. Like this is dumping it up here,
correct,
and that one's dumping it down there,
right,
and they're connected, right?
Yeah. So it's weird though,
that it works.
Yeah. So I think. Yeah, so I don't know what goes through this interconnect, if it's just signals.
No, maybe there's no power in there.
Yeah, so maybe there's separate power planes, which is always a tricky thing when you have two power supplies powering, two boards that are then interconnected. So you got to be careful with that kind of stuff. But Atari must have figured it out. So
right.
So yeah, we'll plug it in and see what happens. And
yeah, I think let's get the multimeter. So I'm pretty sure it's just going to turn on when we plug it in.
Okay. All right.
And so we got test points here.
Yeah, right down on the bottom of the game board here.
So I have it on DC volts.
Okay.
And then right, so I guess plug it in. I'll let you know what it says.
All right, ready?
All right, here we go.
Fire in the hole.
Cross your fingers. 1.86.
So that's on, but that's not.
Same exact what I was getting before.
Okay. So let's try to see what the hell is going on here, right?
So if we test like 5 volts to ground continuity, right? Like is something pulling this down, like a chip or?
Yeah. So let's so here's your power input here on this, connector. So and on here your brown is ground and your red is 5 volts. But I believe you also have these sense lines too.
Yeah.
That go back and tell the AR3, hey, give me more power. I'm only at 4.8, give me 5, and that kind of stuff. So, and I've seen sometimes too that can interfere with, the operation of the AR3 or just shut everything down, right? So, but let's take a look and see what we get for power on this. And what I'm going to do, John, is just unplug the power from this because I don't like to have half the game board running and half of it not. So, all right.
Yeah, before I was getting 5 volts at that connector with the board disconnected.
Okay. So again, the brown is going to be ground, and then our red should be 5 volts. So this here. So what are we getting? Anything?
Nothing, right? Maybe you're not on it.
Okay. Let's try.
Oh wait, hang on. Sorry, I had it on continuity still.
Oh, okay. So was it on continuity when we tested? No, couldn't have been, right?
No.
Okay. All right. So let's try that again.
Nothing. Those are kind of tricky to get a hold of.
All right.
There has to be something there because we're getting there. It's 5.5.
5.5. Okay. So we're getting power, and as soon as we plug it in,
it drops to 1.8.
Right. So, okay. So do we really have a power problem, or do we have a board problem? So when we plug it in, let me just unplug this.
Someone left a comment on my video about one of these guys, the little octopus-looking.
Failing. Yeah, is that like an LM something? Or
is there? I thought I replaced one. Are there more than one of those octopus-looking things? Tim, can you hand me that AR3 right there? So there's only
one, right?
Yeah, and I did not replace that. That looks original.
Okay. Now, did we test that AR3 already? Or is that like a backup one or something?
This is the one I had in here a long time ago.
Okay.
And we could try this.
Okay.
I don't know what's going to happen.
All right.
I feel like I replaced these.
Yeah, the regulators.
And never tested it.
Okay, so you want to try that?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that.
So let's swap this out.
Okay.
All right, so we're putting this back on. So we should test this out of circuit like we did before.
Yeah. Yep.
Just to see if we're getting the any kind of 5 volts.
Okay, so everything's plugged in.
Yeah, should we disconnect it from the video board?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to plug it in.
Yeah.
And
do the same thing.
Yeah. Ready? Anything?
2.5.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. That's.
Do we need to adjust the pot?
I don't know if we're going to be able to get that much out of it. I think that might be another issue, but our pot is right here. We can try it.
There's a little screwdriver behind you. Right behind you. On the ground. Right there.
Oh, yeah. Got it. All right, so.
Do you want me to adjust it?
Yeah.
All right.
I'd be surprised if we get that much more out of it, because I just feel like maybe we got a regulator problem. You got it?
Yeah, I'm not getting it. Oh, now it's 5.5.
All right, turn it down.
5.4. 5.2.
All right.
5.1.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay.
All right. All right, so
that thing works.
this one works.
At least not plugged in.
All right. So can you just plug that one up top there?
Yeah.
I think it might be in the cabinet. There you go.
Okay, so we're all plugged in.
You ready?
Yep.
Still nothing down here. I want to measure that again and just see.
Oh, something's smoking, dude. That resistor blew up.
This one that's been replaced?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so obviously when the board is not plugged in, we don't have that problem, right?
Right.
And we do have it plugged in, so
But this power supply,
used to work.
when I got the game day one,
Right.
then this game stopped working.
Right.
And then I got a working replacement that's been in here. Okay?
Okay.
So this is a bad power supply from like 10 years ago.
Okay.
But I think I replaced those voltage regulators, or these two transistors on the top there,
Okay.
and I think that's all I did to it.
Okay.
I think. Too many games, too much time. I don't remember. I need a diary.
Dear God, this is John again.
So that is an unreliable power supply.
Oh, okay, great. So why don't we just take that out then?
Right.
So, John.
Yes.
Do we think we have a board short or something on the board that's failing?
Well, I tested 5 volts to ground, right? Continuity. Would that give us any kind of
Yeah, so, I mean, you're going to see some, resistance maybe in the 100 ohm or more range.
567 ohm, 60, what?
Yeah, so that's fine.
That's high resistance, right?
Yeah, so if you had something like in the order of 1 to 5 ohms, then,
Right.
You could say, okay, well, you might have a short because that's pretty low. But yeah, something in the few hundreds, I don't think you're going to have an issue. So, So what is causing our power supplies to burn up? Or at least pull down the 5 volt line, right?
Yeah.
Has anything else been done, like to
No.
the boards or anything?
No,
Like, even plug any chips in backwards or anything like that?
I didn't touch the boards, yeah.
Okay, so it's really just the power issue.
Can you run power to just one board and see what happens with the voltage?
Yeah, so this board is doing that. So this board up here is running on that on this power supply here, the switching power supply, and this board is turning on just fine. But these connectors are different, and they're not. I don't think they're keyed the same, are they? I don't think they are. Yeah, they're totally different. So, yeah, so it's not like we could easily run this power supply and power this board, without changing the connector. Or at least looking at the schematics and seeing. We can quickly look here, and you can see, like for instance, these two brown wires are ground, and then they have the red at 5 volts, and then I believe this yellow wire is the sense. We'd have to look at that. But if you look at the pinout up here,
It's totally different.
it's totally different, right? You have
Yeah, that's not going to line up.
yeah, correct. You'd have to repin this. Or change your power supply, John, to just, get something. And I've seen this where they get, a new modern day, power supply that can supply enough current to power both boards. And then you just get rid of the AR3, or the AR3 would just be used for your sound amplification.
Right, because the sound is coming from here, right? To that.
This is video. Your sound comes through one of these up
Connectors
here,
up here? Okay.
Right. Yep. And then that eventually goes down into this harness down here. Yeah.
Right.
So if you follow this connector, you can see this harness comes up here, and I think it's one of these wires comes up and plugs in here.
Yep.
The other thing I wanted to check quickly, Tim, if you go around to the front,
Yep.
there should be the volume.
On the coin door?
Yeah, this should, like where the is it just the volume, or is there like a little AR board in there? I can't remember.
Oh,
Is it just a volume pot, Tim?
Yeah, there's just a volume pot and a test switch.
There is a test switch.
And I do have, there's another switch mounted to here.
the power switch was relocated into the coin door.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I think on the AR3, everything is controlled here. Like I think there should be a test switch. I mean, we're not going to get into test mode, but
There's a test switch over here. I can flip it.
okay. No, I mean, we're not going to be able to get anything out of it if the board's not coming up, so it doesn't help us. But I was just curious as to what was plugged in the front. So what do we do, John? Right?
I don't know.
This power supply you said
Is there a Paperboy free play?
there is a my Paperboy is
No, we could test my board and yours, or vice versa.
There is one in Providence. Yes, and I think it's running the switcher though, or maybe it's doing what you're doing, where you're running a switcher and an AR3. You know,
Yeah.
what? I will check tonight because I'll be there tonight. And if it is, yeah, we can bring your board down there, your board stack, and try it there, and your power supply.
What's that?
Jay, if you want, like I could bring it. We could bring it down tonight.
Oh, we can do
test
that too. Yeah, we're going to
and I
Providence
can bring
tonight.
it back to John.
Okay.
tomorrow.
Do that?
Yeah, sure. That'd be
All right.
awesome.
Yeah, we can plug it in. We'll take your AR3. We'll take your CPU board.
Take the other AR3 though.
This one here.
Yeah, that's the
This is
rebuilt one.
Okay, we'll take this one.
Now this did not burn up that resistor though.
I don't believe so. I didn't smell it.
Was it R29?
That's on the AR2. On the AR3, I don't
This
know if
one.
it's
I
the
think it's
same.
this guy.
Okay.
R20.
That's the one that burnt up. Yeah.
That's the one that's supposed to burn up,
Okay.
right? I mean, it's like a resistor fuse, kind of, isn't it? Didn't they design one of these to actually light up if there's a short?
I'm not sure about that. I know that on the R29 and the AR2s frequently burn up with the edge connector issue.
Right.
You see that all the time in pole position. Yeah, I don't know if it's the same on the AR3 though.
Yeah.
But,
But we had an issue on one of the Paperboys at Free Play Worcester with the connector getting hot, didn't we?
we don't have a Paperboy in Free Play Worcester, do we, Tim? I don't think we do.
What did I change the power connector on? I thought it was Paperboy.
We don't have a
Champion.
No, the only thing we have there is a Super Sprint,
Yeah, Sprint.
which is
Yeah, I don't remember.
running a
Changed
switcher.
one out somewhere.
Okay.
All right. Well, I guess that's that. So
Well, I'll be happy if we plug this in and the board comes up in my setup, John. Then I know right away
it's the power supply still.
it's still the power supply, right? You still get a power supply.
Right.
option.
Or could it be the big blues? I did a lot of research pointing to those. I mean, those are like the Bob Roberts style.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think those could have failed by now?
I don't think so. I still think you have a problem with your AR3 because it's failing under load.
Right. Someone left a comment again saying this right, like a friend of theirs had the same problem and it
Right.
was this,
That little LM device. Or
Yeah.
whatever it is. Yeah.
which I clearly did not replace.
Yeah, that looks original. Okay. So we'll take this AR3. I'm
No,
sorry,
this
that
one.
AR3
And the video
and
board.
the video board, and we'll check it out and we'll report back.
All right. Let's pull out Major Havoc real fast before you go. All right, hang on. We're going to put this back away. All right, guys. We have the Major Havoc pulled out here. So yeah, Jay, I don't know. We got to check the voltages. Nothing's happening. The marquee light's coming on and no cone lights.
Nothing.
I don't know if the monitor's on. I suspect it is.
We're dead. Okay. All right, so let's fire it up and see if the monitor comes on. And
Yeah, so there's an orange extension cord right there. You could plug it in.
Okay.
Hang on a sec. Let me help you. All right, so we have power. It's off though because the interlock switch here is not turned on because the back door's off.
All right, so I'll pull the interlock and just see what happens to the monitor. And
Yeah, we'll see if we have neck glow and.
okay, ready?
Yep.
All right, so the spot camera's on. The LV2000 lights are on. So
I think the monitor's fine.
yeah, I think the monitor's fine too. So you got no cone lights or anything on the front.
Right.
Yeah, we got no cone lights. So what I'm gonna do, John, is just shut this off. I'm gonna unplug the monitor because I don't like to leave the monitor on, especially vector monitors, if I'm working in here and I don't need it.
Right.
So I'm just gonna unplug that, so the monitor is gonna be off. And we will start with looking at 5 volts. I'm gonna test it right here.
Okay.
On the back of this filter board, which is what they did for a Tempest to Major Havoc conversion, right? You had this board here.
Yeah.
And so on the Atari harness, you can see the top here, you got 5 volts and ground. So I'm just gonna measure right here on these vias on the back and see what we're getting for power.
Okay. All right, I'll hold the multimeter.
All right.
So it's on DC volts.
Well, first I'm gonna check really quick, it's just your fuses. Can you put it on continuity?
Yep. So we're just gonna check the fuses down here.
Okay, ready?
Yep. This camera,
What's
You
going
want me to
on?
hold it for you?
the tripod mount is broken,
Wiggly?
and right now it's like taped.
Okay.
I need to get some like JB Weld or something and go nuts with it.
All right, so
Fuses are all good.
I'm gonna fire it up, and we're gonna measure again. Well, this looks really flimsy, huh? This filter board. Okay, here we go.
It just turned on.
How about that?
Hey, you fixed it.
So I fixed it.
Was it the edge connector?
No. So what I think it is, John.
That was loose?
I think this is just really loose. I think.
Woo!
Woo! Now,
Magic touch.
Listen, you've been having problems with Major Havoc, so I'm not saying this is the fix.
But that could have been.
Yeah, it could have been. So I just want to pull this really quick and look and see how this is set up over here, because it just seems like it's a very loose, design and
Right.
This filter board is just.
It's flimsy.
Yeah. So let's just.
That's funny.
Can we? Do you have a film set? I just want to take this.
Yep. Tim, there should be one on the chair by the red tent. I think.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, that's good if it's just the edge connector.
Yeah, I hope. I think it might be, John.
I think it is too, because like I said, I would turn it on and it wouldn't boot the first time.
Yeah, I mean, these were the conversion boards, right? That they used when they converted a Tempest to a Major Havoc, and I mean, you can just see it's just like flapping around, right? So.
Yeah, it has the pots too, right? The XY pots, doesn't it? Or what?
Yeah, I think that's the correction circuitry or something like that for the Wells Gardner monitor.
Yes.
Yeah,
don't touch that. I have that really dialed in.
All right.
So you want to just reseat this?
Yeah. So let's just.
We could get some zip ties. I think they zip tied this, didn't they, at some point?
It looks
between these holes.
Yeah. I just don't like how it's just kind of like flapping around over there. And what could happen, John, is
you get cold solder joint.
Yeah. I can. You might want to look closely and see if you have to reflow any of those. But it just looks like it's not really sitting there too well.
Right. It's a pretty bad design, honestly.
Yeah, I feel like there should be some support, like a bracket or something, because you can see, like this, it's just kind of like, it's not really holding onto the edge connector well either, the fingers.
Yeah.
So that might be a problem. But
so should we reseat it, or?
Well, let's take a quick look and see if we have any cold solder joints or anything that might, Yeah, I can already see, like, right here, I think.
Is that moving?
Yeah, you can see the crack. I mean, it's probably going to be hard to see on the camera, but I think I could see like a crack around.
Well, why don't we just reflow it real quick in the garage?
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt to maybe just reflow some of these here. And you can see here this thick trace.
Yeah.
That's either your power or ground, so you might want to reflow that too, because.
Okay.
And it comes around.
All right, let me go grab my side. We'll just do it right here. Let me go grab it.
Do it here?
Yeah. Okay. All right, so I'm going to reflow this real quick. Just taking a look here. I mean, it's hard to tell if there's really cracks in this, but I guess it won't hurt.
Yeah, I think I saw one pin.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Kind of wiggle?
Well, I could see the circle around the pin, where the pin comes through.
Right.
Where it's starting to, or maybe, if you have an intermittent problem like that, John, it just tells me that.
It could be just a cold solder joint.
Yeah, and given the fact that, I just kind of wiggled the board, and I saw it right away, and I'm like, this just doesn't look good. And it came up. So.
This solder.
No good?
I don't know. I can't find my good spool.
Right, let me go get my solder.
I don't.
I'll come right back.
This stuff doesn't seem to want to flow at all. It's not enough lead in it.
No, we need more lead.
It's kind of flowing. I had like a big spool of like the contraband solder.
Oh, ooh, with lead.
With like high percentages of lead.
That stuff flowed real well.
Yeah. This feels like it's plastic. I don't know the origins of this.
I think I'm still using Radio Shack solder.
Really?
So in addition to cleaning glass, I also hold flashlights.
That's right. The battery died on my light, so Tim is now.
So here we are.
The
rescue.
right, I'm gonna wait for the other solder, and I guess we'll just go right down the line. All right, so we reflowed the solder here using Jay's Better solder. It flowed a lot better. You want to try it out?
Yeah, let's fire it up.
All right. Yeah, it's kind of crowded here.
Yeah, because Tim's here, you know.
Sorry, guys. I'm now the light boy.
Tim, isn't there a glass you can clean?
Yeah, I think so. That's why I came by.
All right. So, oh, by the way, so
Yeah.
your major Havoc, look at this. This is the board to have, right? This has the quad pokey eliminator.
Yep.
Sometimes you see it with the original quad pokey. And one thing I noticed too is if you look at the serial number CK and then the number,
Yeah.
I think CK is conversion kit, right? So
Okay.
this was obviously a converted Tempest, and so this was like a board that was sold to an operator to convert his or her Tempest into a major Havoc, right?
Yeah,
So,
and I think there's some kind of crystal thing going on with that, because of the 6100 versus the amp or whatever.
yeah, so I think there's two, right?
Yeah.
If I remember, there's
It's-
one here,
Yep.
and there's one here. And one of them is for the game, and I think one is for the sound.
Okay.
Or something like that. But yeah, I can tell when your sound goes, when I hear your track mode, it sounds a little bit slower than what I'm used to.
Right.
And I think they slowed the game down slightly just because you said for the 6100 monitor versus
Right.
the phones. So, but yeah, I think you can change that if you want. I don't think it's going to damage your 6100.
The game's, it runs and it looks great. I'm leaving it alone.
I would touch it, yeah. It's an Atari Vector, it's a good idea.
Yep.
Just leave it. All right. So, yeah, Tim and I were talking earlier, and I think maybe there should have been like some type of bracket or something that maybe joined these two games, like an L bracket.
Right.
But anyway, let's see what happens. So.
All right.
You want to fire it up and see what happens? See if the game comes on? We don't have the monitor plugged in. So
Right. Well, we can hear it. You ready?
yeah, go for it. All right, great.
I think that's it.
Okay, so why don't we plug the monitor in and
Yeah.
let's just make sure everything works. This one.
Everybody needs a Jay around. He's like got the net.
This is great. Yeah, I appreciate it,
He
Jay.
touches, it
Yeah.
just starts working.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well, it's more fun to work with people too, honestly.
right.
You know,
I agree 100%.
being alone with a soldering iron
Yeah.
can get a little depressing. You know,
Beat him to bits you after a while.
you feel good about that?
I know sometimes these pins like pop back, and it just felt like one of them might have not been seated right. So I always just kind of double check.
Yeah.
And make sure. And you want to always get that like
Snap kind
that
of.
snap, and I'm not getting it, so I'm like, it's not locking in. And I feel like this pin right here, I know you can't see it, but it's actually this orange wire.
It's coming out.
Yeah, it feels like it's not seated properly. All right, now it is. I heard that click, so it should be in there. So we're gonna try that. Try that again. Still not liking that, John, but
Is that pin coming out?
it's in there now, but I'm not getting that click when we plug it in. But we'll see what happens.
From the little locking things on the side?
Yeah, these sides,
Yeah.
they should. Well, I can manually kind of like,
Right.
but let's see what happens.
Okay. You ready?
Yeah. All right, so the spot kill went off, which is a good sign.
Yep.
And the
Monitors-
1000's on. So what do we got up front?
Nothing yet. Oh, God.
No, I think you're gonna be okay. There it is.
Okay.
Good.
Yay. Perfect.
Fantastic.
All right. Good work, Jay.
All right. Way to go, Johnny. One down, about 5 games to go, right?
Yeah, I think so. Well, we have the Firefox. iRobot, in theory, should be done.
Okay. Paperboy.
Paperboy's a mystery, and Firefox is a mystery.
Okay. So
At this point.
that shouldn't be too bad. So 2 really, the only,
Yeah.
Okay, I think we could do it.
And I feel like if you try my board out and the power supply in a known working game,
Yeah.
we can really deduce where to focus on,
Yeah. So Tim and I will take it down to free play tonight and work on it and see if we can isolate the problems of the power supply or the
Or the video board.
or the video board, and then Tim will run it back up to you tomorrow. And,
awesome.
And you can try it.
What a delivery service.
So you can come back tomorrow and we can finish this video.
There we go.
But I'm not going to be here.
Oh, man. Well, you can come back up.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, guys, we're going to break here. We're going to put this away. I'll be back. All right, guys, we're in the garage. Okay, so it's been a few days since Jay and Tim were here, and we're going to kind of go through the NBA Fast Break. Now, I've been playing this a ton, like a lot out here with my wife, and it's playing pretty great, honestly. It's a little... Some things need to be dialed in a little bit, but overall, it's actually playing really good. Now, in the last part of the video here, when Jay was here, we got that weird, like, ground error, and we blew a fuse. It was really strange. And so I went through, and actually when Jay was here, and removed a bunch of kind of broken LEDs that were just kind of smashed up and possibly shorted. Some of them were like underneath here. I know there was one there, just one back here somewhere, but they were just like totally broken in half and possibly shorted. Over here, like on the slingshot, part of an LED was like trapped where the kicker is, so I got rid of that. And then I also pulled the bulb out of here, which could have been shorted too, because it seemed like we blew the fuse when we plugged in this, right? So this shoot button has a little harness that you plug in after you put the lock bar on, and that maybe blew the fuse too. So I pulled the bulb out of there. I ordered some fuses on Amazon. This little kit is actually great. It's like 12 bucks for all these fuses. And the fuse that we needed was this one here, the 5 amp, this little guy. And so I replaced the fuse and I turned it on, and we weren't getting that error anymore, and everything was working again. So if we turn it on now, you can see we have only one error, and it's switch 48. So it says enter for test. So if I open the coin door and press enter, it says that switch 48 is bad. Okay, now switch 48 is a switch all the way in the back far left corner. So we can try adjusting that. Now I did actually remove the glass, and I was able to get the switch to work, but it's intermittent. So the switch either needs to be adjusted, the little wire form, or we're gonna replace it. I think I have the switch, the part, so we'll see. So let's remove the glass here real quick, and we'll put it in switch edge test. So again, there's that little harness down here that is for the shoot button. So we're just gonna disconnect that, remove this, and then on this game, that light fell off. So this just popped out of here. So you can see this is the switch assembly with the light bulb that is inside here. Actually, I guess I did put the bulb back in. I pulled it out and put it back in. I thought I pulled it out completely. We could actually replace this. Hang on, let me get rid of this glass. This glass wants to slide out. And I'm gonna very carefully lean it against the shelf over here. And you gotta be careful with the edges of that tempered glass on the cement, because if you drag it the right way, that thing will explode into like little diamonds. All right, so what was I gonna do? Let me see what I have here for bulbs. Now I am gonna ultimately LED this, but since I got it out, maybe we can just swap this bulb out. So I have some 4.4s here. Nope, this is not it. This is a 5.55. The kind of bayonet style. Maybe I'll go see if I have some 5.55s. Hang on. All right, I have a box of 5.55s here. I'm just gonna swap this out. I know we're gonna put LEDs in, and that's the plan, but I just might replace some broken bulbs as we find them. All right, and then this thing is kind of keyed. There we go. All right, so that's ready for testing later. All right, let's, oh, the one thing I want to point out too is that when Jay was here, it said the Defender mech was broken, and I actually put it in a test. I'll show you. So if we go to test, and we go to motor test, that actually runs the defender back there. See it? And once I ran that, it cleared the error. And so maybe someone, you know, if you play this game enough times and a feature doesn't work, it assumes that it's broken. But it could mean that the players are just bad. So I don't know if that is the case, but something happened where that defender didn't move for a while and it assumed it was broken and then made it an error, okay? And if you put it in test, you could see there's different positions here. And as soon as it recognized that all positions were being read, position 1, position 2, lock, position 3, and position 4, the error was cleared. And then it said, okay, I guess it is working. So we could do it again. So you could see, watch each of the switches. So as the defender moves, did he set 3 off? Let's try it again. Yeah, there goes 3. 2, 1, 2, lock, 3, 4. Okay, so they're all working. So the defender's fine. So that means we only have one error on this game, which isn't bad. And it's that switch in the back here. So I'm gonna put it in switch. It's gonna tell me again that there's an error, hang on. I'm gonna put it in tests, switch edges. So now every time I hit a switch, it'll tell me which one I'm hitting. So I hit the slingshot, left slingshot, right slingshot. And then so if I go back here, let me kind of show you guys. So if I hit this switch that's underneath here, right here, there. So now it's working. But what happens is when the ball rolls over, it doesn't set it off, which means that the metal maybe got deformed. And I believe the switch, I have a replacement here if we need it. I think I have one. Let me get one and I'll show you what it looks like. I went in my basement and I just grabbed a bunch of random pinball parts here. So I think this right here is the right switch. And if this wire form gets bent, it can't set off that little micro switch there. So if this gets bent in, when the ball rolls over it, there's not enough action to hit the switch. So I kind of think it's just bent, and maybe we could try bending it back. But I'll say this, I haven't really ever had very good luck doing that, but we'll try it anyway. So let's go over here, and I'm gonna just kind of get in there and try to bend that wire up a little bit. I don't know how successful I'm gonna be, but I'm gonna give it a shot. Because if we were to roll the ball over it, like let me get a ball here. So if I were to just roll the ball over the switch, it doesn't set it off. So here, with my hand, I can make it go off, but the ball is what's supposed to set it off. So if we roll the ball there, watch, it doesn't go off. So that's the problem. So the wire needs to be bent up a little bit, and we're gonna try to do that first. I'm gonna try to do it from the top. I don't know how successful I'll be, and you can't really see, but I'm just taking my pliers here. I'm just gonna see if I can bend it up a little bit. Yeah, I don't think I can do this. Let's try the ball again. No, it doesn't set it off. So let's go underneath the play field. So let's pull all the balls out, and we're gonna have to go under the play field here. And then to remove the balls, you just take your hand on the ball kicker and just pull them out. And there's 4 balls total in the game. I already removed one. All right, so let's pull this up. And of course, this switch is in the worst spot. All right, so it's maybe easy to get to. So it's this one right here. And I have a nut driver. Let's remove this. Okay. All right, so here's the switch in question. And let me just confirm if this is 48, yeah. All right, I'm gonna try to just bend this metal wire and see if we can get it to consistently register with the ball. I'm just gonna kind of bend this up a little bit. The one thing I could do too is just replace, I could pop off the old metal. I could pop off the old wire from the old switch and take one from a new switch, and that way I don't have to actually remove the switch. You see what I'm saying? Because this thing here, there's two little tabs here, and this thing just kind of snaps into it. So we could actually pop this off of a, you know, assuming the switch that's in here is good, which it seems to be, and it's just misaligned because it's going off consistently. We could steal the wire from a new one and just leave the old switch in place. But let's just see if what I did helped. So I'm going to put this back in and we'll test it with a ball. Boy, it's been a long time since I did a video like this, isn't it? It's been a long time since I've worked in the garage. All right. I really need to get a magnetic nut driver because it would make this a lot easier. Yeah. I remember having that problem when we did the LEDs with the same nut driver. Okay, I'm dropping screws all over the place. So let me see if I could take my pliers here and just kind of get the screw in the hole. All right. Okay, I got one in there. Let's get the other one in. It's in a tricky spot. You gotta like thread it through a bunch of wires and stuff. All right. Okay, so let's see if the ball will set the switch off now. Nope. Fine. No, it didn't do it. All right, it's not doing it. Attempt to just replace the whole thing since I have the part. Yeah, let's just replace it. Let me grab my soldering iron. All right, I have my soldering iron heating up here. I did play with this a bunch more. I tried bending this. Actually a couple times off camera and I couldn't get it to work. And the one thing I noticed is that if I just kind of flicked it like this, it would never go off. It's like it requires too much pressure to make it fire, and I actually compared, you know, the way the wire is bent compared to the new one, and it's like exactly the same. It's not really misaligned or malformed. Is that a word, malformed? So we're going to replace it. Now we have to pay attention here because there's a diode on here, and and the new switch does not come with the diode. So we're going to have to remove the diode from the old one and transfer it to the new one. And it looks like, I don't know if you guys can see the diode here. So there's a diode right here, okay? So we're gonna have to transfer from the old to the new. And the diode, the stripe is away from the white, okay? And green's in the middle. So let's just see if we can get this off here. I'm just gonna try to heat it. Let's take the white wire off. All right, so the white wire's off. So we should be free now. There's two white wires, and then the center one has a little connector. Okay. So it's off. So let's take a look at it here. And if we compare it to the new one, you know, it's pretty much identical the way it's bent. So I don't think that's what it is. I think the switch is dirty or something, and I did spray it with some deoxit. You know, it can't really get inside, but sometimes you can, maybe through the little switch here. And I just worked it, and it didn't fix it. So, all right, let's go over here, and we're gonna remove the diode from the old one and transfer it to the new one. And then we're gonna put this plate on here too. So let's go over here. All right, so I'm kind of debating if I should cut the old diode off, and we'll have enough meat to move it over. Where's my little screwdriver? It's over there. All right, so we're gonna have to take the plate off. So I'm just gonna unscrew this old one from the plate. I mean, we could leave it on right now, but let's just take it off. Okay. So again, we can just kind of compare. And it's pretty much identical the way it's bent. So that's not the problem. It's the switch itself. All right, let's try to get this diode off. And so the band goes on the switch side. We gotta remember that. Let's just see. I should get my solder pullet. Let me get my solder sucker. Hang on. All right, I grabbed a vise here. It'll make it easier for us to do this. So let's just heat this up and see how much of the solder I can get off of here. I'm not sure if they threaded the diode through the hole. We might end up just cutting it off. Yeah, they did. They bent it through, I could see. Alright, might be able to pull it out now. Here it comes. Okay. Alright, we probably have plenty of meat now. I'm just going to cut the other side off. Alright, so the band goes on the switch side. So let's thread this through the hole. And obviously we have to make sure that it doesn't touch the center in any way. Alright, that should be good. Don't want to go too tight. So this is that crappy solder. I gotta find my good solder. Yeah, this stuff does not want to melt. There it goes. Okay. Went a little crazy on the other side here. I gotta get my glasses. I'm getting old. Hang on. All right, I have my glasses and it looks good. And I put it back on the plate here. So now we have to solder the wires back on. Only the white wires get soldered. The center one has a little like connector. And the wires go on this side, away from the switch and away from the band. I actually forgot, but I compared it to the other switches, and they're all the same way. The two wires go on the non-band side of the diode. Let me just double check that. I could watch the video. Here's a switch here. Yeah. Non-band side. Alright, so they're going to go on this side here. Alright, so I'm going to kind of try to wrap these around. Like so. It's going to be kind of tricky to solder because of where it is, but we'll give it a shot. I'm going to strip this back a little bit. Where's my wire strippers? All right, I just stripped these wires back using my my wire strippers, and I'm going to twist these together. There's two wires here that need to go on that switch, and we're going on the side away from the band, right here. So I'm going to try to wrap this around the lug, and hopefully it'll just stay there. Like so. And then it's just a really awkward spot. Did I get it? All right. Let's see how that looks after it cools. It's hot. All right, looks okay. It's a little ugly, but it's on there. All right, let's put the center lug in. All right, let's turn the game on and test it. I'm just going to double check my work. So the white wires are on the non-banded side of the diode, and looking at all the other switches, that is true. Okay, so let's turn the game on, and we'll put it in switch test. Actually, the game's unplugged. Hang on. All right, let's turn it on. And then I'm just going to put it in the switch edges test. Test report. Check switch 61, left jet. That's new. All right, hang on, I gotta put let me pull this stuff out of here. All right, let's bring this down so we can see what's going on. All right, switch edges. It said left jet, so what's that all about? Which is what, this? Yeah, it's fine. All right, so let's test that switch, make sure it works before we screw it back in. Okay, so our new switch works. So let's screw that back in. And by the way, look though, if you do flick this thing, it goes off. The other one, you couldn't do that. I think the switch was just done. All right, I got the screw started. That was super annoying. I think that, you know, the wire geometry, you know, kind of like how it's all bent, you know, the memory of it is different now since I resoldered it. And it just didn't want to sit in its spot. So I got one started, coming in with the other one. All right, we're good now. So I was able to do the little flick test thing. This doesn't look, let's see what happens. It's rubbing against the side. All right. All right, let's try it out with a ball. All right, here we go. All right, it works. Okay, good. So let's test it again with the ball. We're looking for switch 48. Didn't roll it far enough. Didn't roll. There it goes. All right, so that's fixed. So we should have no errors now. Yep, no errors. Okay, so there's other things wrong here though. I'm gonna have to order this part though because I don't have it. This slingshot switch is broken right here. I don't know if you guys can see, but the top half of it's broken off. So you can see like on the right one here, there's two parts to it. This one's missing the tall part. So I gotta order that leaf switch. I looked in the basement, I don't have one. But we should have no errors now. I do need to clean up the playfield. I do know that in the back glass, we have some issues that maybe we can address right now. Yeah, why don't we take this off? So the back glass is animated, I guess we'll call it. It has that flipper back there with the basketball and you make goals. But there's kind of like a railing that the ball rides along right here. And then there's another one right here that kind of diverts it down where the basket switches. And I could see that the plastics have fallen off. And I had replaced those when I got this game because it was all broken. So let's disconnect this. Let's bring this over to the table and take a look inside. All right. So to get in here, we just take this off, that off, and this off, and then the translate and the glass will come off. And we can get to everything here. Okay, so you could see right here, this is broken. And it's actually missing. So someone had glued this down because the ball goes like this, and then this thing diverts it to this switch. And this piece was kind of off to the side. So I wonder if I could. So this hole is worn out, and someone had tried gluing it a long time ago. I really need one more of those standees for right here to reinforce it. What is this? What's the purpose of the ones on here? That's just to keep the back glass. I wonder if I could steal one from here. There's a bulb missing here. We should really clean this. Let me get some Novus, hang on. All right, I'm gonna just clean this up. Again, we're gonna, put LEDs in this thing, but I just might replace some of the bulbs here because they're clearly all burnt out. So I'm using Novus 2. And let's see if we can just kind of clean this up. Yeah. Just kind of getting rid of all these ball trails. It's totally working. Looks better already. So a long time ago when I got this game, some of these plastics were broken, and I managed to find some of them, but not all of them. and I didn't have enough standees, so I guess that's why this one's missing one. I still feel like I should steal one from the middle here and just kind of reinforce this, because this is a high action spot here. I'll have to look again. Maybe someone is selling these parts now. We can kind of wipe the ball up. It kind of looks like a basketball. I wonder if they just found this weird ball. I wonder if someone makes a mod for this that uses like a real, something that looks more like a basketball. Alright, definitely looks better than it did. Some of this wear I don't think is going to come off, like right there. All right, I'm going to change the flipper band just because I can. I have these super bands on hand. I've been using these on the games on location, and they seem to be pretty decent. They're very hard to get on, though. So let's pull the old one off, and you know it's kind of a little dry rotted, so might as well change it. And we could try cleaning up the flipper itself. It's got some black gunk on here. And get as much of it off as we can. And then this is kind of a pain to get on. These are super tight. There we go. All right, so we got a new rubber band on there. And the ball goes here. So we could try changing some of these bulbs real fast. Let's see what I have here. I don't know if I have enough. Might as well. I mean, we are going to put LEDs in here, but at least for now, I can enjoy it with the fully lit back glass. And then there's flashers in here. I only have 4 more bulbs. Well, I'm not sure what I have in the basement. This is probably silly because I'm gonna just put LEDs in here soon. I'll just replace a couple of these really silvered ones and then that's it. All right, I think I want to steal one of these. No, that's not tall enough. Because if you look over here, you know, we're missing one of the standees in the middle. I'm not sure if I can borrow one from somewhere else. But these are shorter. This would do me no good. Well, we'll see how it plays like that, because it was like that in my basement forever, and it was fine. So if we look at the back of the back glass, this is kind of all worn out too. So we can try cleaning that a little bit with Novus. See if we can get some of these scratches off of here. It really scuffed that up, huh? It's looking a little bit better. So Novus 2 is a fine scratch remover. I use it for everything. I clean all of our play fields with it, and I've always used it in the basement to clean mine. And it's really good on plastic like this. It's a slight abrasive. It's looking better, but not perfect. Let's see if we can get some off. This is kind of the worst spot over here. A lot of elbow grease. Well, it's definitely better than it was. I could try it again later if I got maybe some Novus 3, which is even more abrasive. But you basically just got to sit here and just rub and rub and rub all the scratches out. All right, why don't we put this back together? Definitely looks better than it did. Really should clean this glass. I'm going to put the outside in. This is not the shop video. I really just wanted to take care of the broken and error things. And then when we do the LEDs and really go through this game, then I will have a greater attention to detail. Today I really just wanted to get everything working. Get the game back 100%, and it's going to be pretty much there except for that one switch which I have to order. So that's not too bad considering. Okay. All right, so let's put the backlash back on. So we got to plug the harness back in. Okay. All right, well, the game's pretty much 100% now as far as working. I will order that switch. But there's no errors. Let's put the balls back in. 1, 2, 3. There should be one already in here. Yep. Take it out of test. All right. Let's put the glass back on. I tell you though, playing this game as much as I have the last week, I really do love it, and I really did miss it. It's so good. Let me get the lock bar. That back glass is going to look pretty great once I get LEDs. And let's plug this in. All right, that's it. Let me start a game.
We're gonna see some action above the rim.
So we replaced that bulb. So that's working again. So I probably am gonna. Flippers still feel pretty good.
It's time to play hoop.
We might rebuild them. I haven't decided yet.
It's time for pizza.
So right now we're doing that backlash thing. One. And that all works great. And that plastic that we put back in place there is fine. So, all right, that's gonna do it for this video. So we're gonna go back in the basement, do some viewer mail, hang out. You know, the main objective for me to finish this video here was to basically get rid of all the errors, fix what was broken, you know, the back glass. I noticed that plastic was off when I was playing it because the ball would just bypass this and just kind of go here because that plastic wasn't in place. I'm gonna look out, see if I can find some of those standees. You know, they're almost like PCB standoffs, so I don't know if anyone's selling those these days. I'm gonna order a rubber set for this. We're gonna replace all the rubber rings. I'm probably gonna do white. I haven't decided. I tend to like the white rings better than the black. The black ones, you get a lot of dust, at least they say. I always use white rings and red flipper rubbers. That's just kind of my MO. The one thing too I did notice over here is the little padding, the little foam padding behind this switch is missing on this guy right here. So if you see the one next to it, you can see it has that little insulator, foam insulator kind of behind it as a cushion, and whereas this one, it's missing it. I did notice that someone is selling those foam insulators. I also have some weather stripping, which I think I've done in the past, and I might have actually put some on there a long time ago. You know, but if I'm placing an order for the Switch and they also have that little piece of foam, I think it was 30 cents or something, I'll just order a new piece of foam for that. But I think all I need to get is rubbers, the Switch, and then the game should be 1,000%, and then the LEDs. And then when we put the LEDs in and replace the rubbers, we're going to really clean this game. I'm not going to completely dismantle the game and tear it down completely. I'm not going to do that, but we're just going to clean the playfield with Novus and get all the dust and grime off of it. You know, I've been cleaning the playfield, you know, every few weeks at the hangar, you know, but it still has a lot of road grime, especially back there in the harder to get to spaces. But overall, it looks pretty great. Considering it's been on location for the past 3 years. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it for the garage. Let's go to the basement. Let's do some viewer mail, and let's get out of here. All right, before we go down, let's check on the pulled pork here. So this is a pork butt picnic cut, and I'm spraying it down right now with some pineapple juice. And I'm trying to cook this thing to about 160, 165, then I'm going to wrap it. Right now, it's like 145, 143. So, it's looking good, right? All right, let's go back to the basement. All right, guys, there you have it. What'd you think, huh? Well, NBA's looking better than it was, and everything's working 100%, so I'm pretty happy. I can't wait till I get those LEDs. I think that game's just gonna pop, and we'll go through it and really shop it out for real. Replace all the rubber rings, you know, look at the flippers, maybe rebuild those. I haven't decided yet. I might just replace the coil sleeves. The flippers actually feel like they're working just fine. So anyway, all right, let's do some viewer mail. If you guys want to participate in the viewer mail segment, you got to email them to me at john@johnsarcade.com. That's john@johnsarcade.com. Can be a question, can be a comment, could be anything. Just send it to john@johnsarcade.com. This one is from Ron. It says, new fan. Man, glad you're back. Didn't find you till after you stopped making videos. And I and an 80s kid raised on the old arcades, Nintendo fanboy, Robotron and Galaga gotta be my favorite arcades. I noticed in a recent video, you're not a fan of arcade 1-Up. I'd rather have the originals, but here in Fayetteville, North Carolina, they go for more than I can afford, and I have not got that room for them. So I grabbed the TMNT, the Rampage, and the Pac-Man 40th Anniversary 1-Ups. Sorry, hope I ain't banned from the basement for real for that, LOL. Thanks from North Carolina, Ron. So Ron, well, I mean, the arcade 1-Ups came out way after I started this hobby. So as someone who has collected the originals and have been doing so for 10, 11, 12 years, however long it is now, and restoring them when these cardboard kind of things come out, of course, you know, I've already invested heavily in the real thing. It's easy to turn your nose up at the arcade 1-Ups. However, we are going to do an arcade 1-Up video because I have that centipede. I know I've been talking about it for a year, but once we kind of get everything fixed down here and everything's kind of back to normal, I want to do that arcade 1-Up. We'll bring that box to the garage, we'll put it together, we'll compare it to my centipede upstairs. So, you know, I think the arcade 1-Up is a great gateway, easy kind of gateway into the hobby. I think a lot of people are discovering arcade games because of them. I think a lot of people have found my channel because of arcade 1-Ups. I see these comments or get emails from people saying that they just got into the hobby because of arcade 1-Ups. So I think it is positive for what we're doing here, but it's just not obviously the real thing, you know? So, and because I've gone down so far down this road, I'm not going to go down the arcade 1-Up road at this point. But we'll dabble in it. We'll definitely put that centipede together. It'd probably be kind of fun. All right, next one here's from Sean. Hi, John. I just wanted to start off by saying thank you and glad to see you are back. I got into arcades 2 years ago, and I've been loving every minute of it. You have helped me fix my own stuff as well as get good enough and knowledgeable enough to even make a little business into helping others fix their stuff locally. Hopefully after this whole apocalypse is over, I'll be able to start my own arcade here in Ventura, California, and none of this would have been possible without you. So again, thank you. Attached are some pictures of my machines. My two most prized machines are my Donkey Kong that I completely restored from the ground up. New bottom, new paint, all damaged, repaired, all original hardware, TK4G, and new art. My second most prized possession is my sit-down Star Wars. I got for $500. Craziest thing to ever happen. Last sit-down Star Wars sold in SoCal was at an arcade auction for $9 grand. Jeez. And the post was up for 7 minutes, and I snagged it as fast as I could. They told me the screen didn't work. I said I didn't care. I drove 2 hours with a trailer, and it was perfect. Screen works great. There was nothing wrong. Ha ha ha. I've had it for a few months, and I have it running all day at Friends Arcades. Again, thank you. If you want to see more of my work that I've done, I have an Instagram with everything that I do. His Instagram is Point Press Arcade. I'll show you some photos here of his games. All right, Shane, looks pretty good. I love the Donkey Kong, love the Star Wars. What you got? Is it a Mario Brothers wide body? I can't tell. Yeah, Donkey Kong's awesome. I mean, that's Star Wars for $500. That's crazy talk. You got very lucky, my friend. So good work. Nice looking games. Thanks, Sean. All right, let's move on here from Matt. Hey, John, it's Matt from South Dakota. It's really good to see you back at it. I started to restore games over this COVID season and found all your videos fun and informative. I've finished 2 this year, a Play Choice 10 and an MK2, with the third one, a 4-player X-Men, in the garage right now. My question for you is, with all the games you have or have had over the years, do you still have a game you consider your holy grail? Mine would be Tron, Funhouse, and Ice Cold Beer. Yeah, you know, it's easy for me to answer that, my holy grail. By the way, we should show his games here. Well, here, check out his games, the MK and the play choice. Looks good, and that's like the cool dedicated play choice. That's the one to get, honestly. So, but to answer your question, Matt, holy grail, well, it's Donkey Kong. I know it's boring, but it's the first game I wanted, and it's the last one that will leave. Yeah, I don't get sick of... I still play that game. You know, when I come down here, that's what I play. You know, more than any other thing down here. And I truly love it. I've been kind of feeling affectionate towards Dragon's Lair lately, too. Not that I'm not really playing it, but just the idea of it. It's so elite to me. But Donkey Kong has to be it, because it is the game I wanted right off the bat. It's the game I remember the most from my childhood, and the gameplay is still good to me. I don't get bored of it, you know. I can't sit there and play it for 3 hours, but I go to it more often than any other game here, and I just think it's a testament to the gameplay. I think it's really great. And I like the randomness to it, and you know, there's some predictability, there's some patterns, but there's randomness too, and I just love everything about it. So it is Donkey Kong. It's always going to be Donkey Kong. All right, last one here is from Todd. Hey John, let's start with the proverbial thank you for what you do. I started with one machine 3 to 4 years ago, and now I have 20 plus of my own. I also restore, refurbish, and repair old machines and bring them back from the dead, in part because of your videos. 3 things to pass along. 1, kindness. I am watching your tour of your buddy's Worcester, Mass arcade, and I want to help him out. Attached, you will see a picture of a Jungle King bezel and marquee that I would like to donate to his efforts. I'll even pay shipping. We all have to help each other out in this fight to keep arcades alive. He seems to need them from the video I'm watching. Happy to help. I will need an address to ship. Well, dude, that's pretty freaking awesome. So I forwarded your email to Jay. I'll have him get a hold of you directly, and you guys can work that out. But that's super cool. He did send a photo of the Jungle King bezel and marquee. Let's show it. So yeah, if you guys remember when we went to Jay's arcade, he's got Jungle Hunt, right? But with, well, actually no, he's got a Jungle King PCB. The game is Jungle King with the Tarzan dude, but he had the boring Jungle Hunt marquee and bezel and all that. And so Todd here is offering to send Jay the correct bezel and marquee. So that's pretty cool, dude. I've already forwarded that to Jay, and hopefully he gets a hold of you quick. Number 2, originality. I have just completed a custom and one-of-a-kind conversion of a Splatterhouse converted from a Pac-Mania. I think and have been told it looks amazing. It was themed stay out. It has a themed stay out screen cover simulating a boarded up house, distressed wood bezel, handmade, simulating old haunted house exterior and wood. Marquee is lit by backlight. Game has 5 speakers total to give it a loud and scary feel. Red pulsating LEDs added for blood effect, and severed finger joystick. Severed chain arm hides the coin box area nicely. What a blast this was to create. What are your thoughts? Pictures attached. All right, let's check out this custom Splatterhouse. All right, that's pretty hilarious. Okay, first, where did you find a severed finger joystick? That's pretty hilarious. And then he's got this arm on a chain hanging from the front, and then there's like a stay out sign that covers the monitor. I guess if you're brave enough, you could remove that and play. It's pretty funny. Number 3, revitalization. We find games anywhere and everywhere, some on the way to their death. We pull them from the ashes and get them into the hands of loving arcades and arcaders. Shoot us a plug, if you would be so kind, as we all keep these amazing machines and pieces of history alive. My card is attached. So his business is called Rising Phoenix Arcades in Ohio. So it sounds like he's refurbishing and restoring games and selling them. So if you guys are interested, live in Ohio, maybe search for Rising Phoenix Arcades in Ohio. Yeah, so that's pretty cool, dude. So there's your plug. Rising Phoenix Arcades. Do a search. Or Todd, if you have a link, put it in comments below. But yeah, thanks for that. Your stuff looks pretty badass. And I'm sure Jay will be getting a hold of you soon to get that Jungle King stuff. That's pretty cool, dude. So thanks. All right, guys, that's going to do for this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. So we're going to be doing another video soon, and Jay's going to be in that one too. I don't know why this is happening, but it seems to be happening. So next video, we're going to try to maybe get Paperboy working. I know Jay took my video board and my AR. The video board does work in the Paperboy. Tim confirmed that for me. And the AR, it's unknown right now if that is good or bad. So hopefully we'll know by the next video. Jay was going to test it in one of his games. I don't think he's had a chance. And obviously we got Major Havoc working, so thanks Jay and Tim for coming over and helping with that. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video, but I hope to see you guys very soon. And again, if you want to send viewer mail, john@johnsarcade.com. And of course, check out my my podcast called Video Game Outsiders at videogameoutsiders.com. I've been doing that podcast for over 15 years now. It's a weekly podcast about modern gaming, and I think you'll like it. So go check it out at videogameoutsiders.com. I do want to thank the people that have joined the channel and became members. That list of members is growing, and thank you. I did do a kind of quick member-only video, and I want to probably do one of those one a week. They're kind of just quick update videos, you know, with my phone, but it's a way of kind of keeping up with me in between videos and seeing what's going on, and I'd like to do at least one of those a week. And so I do want to thank you guys for joining the channel. If you do become a member, you get those videos. And again, if you do join the channel, it's a way to directly support me and what I do down here. So I hope you consider clicking the join button. So, all right, that's it. I'm done. I'll see you guys very soon. Later, and bye.